What's up, you guys? So if you're watching this video, that means that you have either saved up $10,000 or you're on your way to saving up $10,000. If you've saved up your first $10,000, congratulations, that's an awesome accomplishment. So it's my personal belief that the first $10,000 you save is the hardest. Once you reach this goal, the rest is much easier because you've already implemented the right habits in order to save this $10,000. And as long as you continue them, you'll gradually bring that to $100,000, to $1 million, and so on. So let's just jump straight into it. Number one is put your money in a retirement account. Investing in your retirement is one of the biggest and most rewarding things that you can do, especially if you are starting out early. I recommend everyone start off by opening up a Roth IRA through a brokerage like Vanguard. Now, for a Roth IRA, you're contributing money that you have already paid taxes on. So you're paying the taxes right now, you're putting the money in that account, and when you withdraw that money in the future, you pay absolutely no taxes. The reason I recommend a Roth IRA for most people versus a traditional IRA is because even though you aren't able to deduct the taxes on your income right now, when you do pull out the money, it's absolutely tax-free, and who likes paying taxes when you go to collect your money, right? So building on this, if you're just starting to invest, you're likely at an income bracket that is not too high. You're likely not making enough money where you're paying an extravagant amount of taxes. So it sort of makes sense to pay this lower percentage of taxes right now rather than paying your higher taxes later on when you're in retirement. So open up that retirement account and pair it with your 401k if you have the option to. And also you can even create a traditional IRA as well. Number two is to invest in ETFs. And ETFs are exchange-traded funds, also known as index and mutual funds. So these are traded publicly in the stock exchange, except that when you're buying a share of an ETF, you're not buying a share with just one company. In fact, you're investing in many companies all at once. You can think of it this way. When you're buying one share of an ETF fund, you are buying tiny bits of shares of tons of companies. Obviously, this makes it a more diversified investment than picking your own stocks. And generally, the more diversified your investment is, the safer. If you pick a stock for a single company and that company goes bankrupt, then you're gonna lose all your money. However, if that company does well, then you're gonna make a lot of money. So it is sort of like a gamble. With an ETF, you're investing in the market as a whole. So if the economy does well, the market does well, then you're gonna be making money. And if the economy doesn't do that well, you're gonna be losing some money. But in the long run, the market always goes up, and that's why it's considered a safe investment. Historically, most ETFs, index funds, have seen growth on about 8 to 10% per year in the long run. This is really great because if you're starting out now, you're gonna have depending on your age, 30, 40 years of this compounded growth at 8 to 10%, and that's gonna really multiply your money like 10, 20 fold. You can buy ETFs from all the brokerages. Now, I'm a huge proponent of Vanguard. I've said this in my other videos, but Vanguard has very good ETF funds. This means that they have funds with very low expense ratios, which means it costs a lot less for you to invest in these funds rather than funds from some other brokerages. Number three is to open up an emergency account if you don't already have one. What I generally recommend for people is to put away 3 to 6 months of expenses. For most people, 3 to 6 months of expenses is enough. Having an emergency account can really save you if you have unexpected expenses come up, such as having a car accident or having to pay medical bills. If you lose your job, then you'll have some sort of money to live off until you find another job. I recommend putting your emergency fund into an online savings account, such as an Ally account, which currently pays about 2.2% interest. These types of online savings accounts pay so much better than the traditional big banks, such as Bank of America or Chase. Those banks pay like 0.01 to like 0.04% interest, while these banks pay like 2.2, 2.5% interest. So it's a lot higher. Number 4 is to invest in your own self-education. It's my belief that to become a truly successful entrepreneur, you have to be a student every day of your life. If you have money, invest in yourself. This has the most payback in terms of bringing out your full potential in the future and having the skills needed to create a multi-million or multi-billion dollar business. The more you educate yourself about successful business practices, mindsets, habits, the more likely you are to succeed. Now, the great thing about education is that there are tons of free resources out there where you can learn a ton of information. So one of these examples is YouTube. If you go on YouTube and search up like personal finance or like investing, there are so many resources out there. You can even look up things like how to build websites, how to start an Amazon FBA business, how to build passive income. Anything is out there if you look for it. Books are also very inexpensive for what you get. If you buy a $20 book, it's like having a mentor you throughout those hundreds of pages, and you're only paying $20. And most books are fantastic values for what you get. Make it a habit to read a little bit of a book every day. It's just really going to challenge you and keep you up to date on the best business practices or habits, mindsets that you need in order to succeed. There are also courses that you can pay, say hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars in order to enroll in a course. These are really great if you want a structured resource. Someone has taken the time, compiled a bunch of different information into one single place, and it's just very easy for you to just kind of go through that course and learn what you need. So number 5, I was a bit hesitant to put this in here, but this is real estate. And it's really location dependent. But for some people that are living in more inexpensive places, you can actually buy homes or duplexes or triplexes for like $100,000. And if you are able to get an FHA, first-time homebuyers loan, you can put as low as like 3.5% down. By buying a multi-unit, putting maybe $5,000, $10,000 down, and then renting out the other units to other people while you live in one of the units yourself, those tenants are gonna start paying your mortgage, they're gonna start paying your principal, you're gonna get equity through doing that. Of course, you really need to do your own research on this. It is more risky to get into real estate, but the rewards are there if you do it right. So yeah, real estate, but only if you are able to afford it. I know lots of people watching this video live in expensive places like LA, SF, New York, even like tons of other cities throughout the US. It's just too expensive to get started with only $10,000. But if you are in a relatively cheap area, this is definitely something that you can do. All right, thanks guys for watching this video. I hope you guys found it useful. Congrats on the first $10,000 of savings. Make that money work for you. Don't let it sit in an account. It might be nice to log into your account and see that money there just waiting to be spent. But I promise you, you'll be a lot happier in the future if you invest it right now and reap the benefits of compound interest. Be sure to like this video if you found it helpful, and also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos just like this. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.